the extent to which anthropology, as just one of the social sciences, had effectively marginalized itself over the years, not universally, but generally. And the great example of that I recall is that I was living in Washington, D.C., and in the immediate wake of 9/11, 4,000 anthropologists gathered there for the American Anthropological Association annual meetings. 4,000 anthropologists in the capital of the United States in the wake of the biggest story of culture they or the country would ever face. And the entire gathering earned but a single line in the Washington Post newspaper in the style or the gossip section that essentially said, "The nutcases are in town again." And you honestly didn't know who was more remiss. The government for not listening to the one profession that could actually, with some considerable wisdom and insight, have answered the question on the lips of all Americans at that time, why do they hate us? Or even worse in a way, the discipline itself, which had very quickly cobbled together some ad hoc symposia that were fascinating, but they had no capacity or even inclination or reflex to speak or reach out with its considerable wisdom to the world at large. Now think about this. You know, Jerry Brown famously said about the war on terrorism, you know, how do you win a war on a technique? And how many talk shows have you seen since 9/11 that have been littered with self-professed terrorism experts? I don't know what university they go to become a terrorism expert, but have you ever seen an anthropologist? And yet every single conflict, not only of those dreadful wars, but virtually every conflict on the world today is essentially a clash of culture. And yet anthropology has been sort of remarkably mute.